Hello and welcome back to your favorite show, Identities Umhlobo. Today we are talking about the issue of service delivery. We have the council, we have the residents associations. Did you know about these people? We need to know further. If you're in your city, find out about which residents association you can engage with so that you go together and answer this power in numbers. So we were talking, say, Mr. Mrimi, about the issue of consultation. You mentioned earlier on the issue of consultations. In the report that we heard about, Dr. Davison actually explained that citizens don't know the processes, are not engaging because there is not enough cultivation of interest amongst the citizens. Who are you consulting with? Why even consult when citizens don't know about you?
All right, thank you. Our motto within the stakeholder engagement discourse is that for you without you is not for you. So basically what we are saying is we should have to consult so that when you are providing service, it's meant for you.
Are you doing this to tick boxes?
No, not to tick boxes, but we are doing it. We cannot improve our service delivery discourse without the input that comes from the residents. So we should have to regularly consult them to know, because we might come up with priorities, issues, and everything to do with budget, with service delivery, but without them, anyway, we will be delivering something that is not for them. So we do it so that we improve our service delivery, so that everyone gets consulted. Every resident of Harare should have input into whatever service delivery that we are doing.
Are you a listening council? Are you planning to utilize this report to improve things? Because as far as I am hearing, citizens and residents don't feel like you're listening, and you feel like you're consulting.
Okay, fine, thank you so much. I think pandatanga kutaura ndakutaura zvokuti vari kutiitira ma-researches vari kutigonera, because this is the information that we need. We need empirical data so that we can rely on. Right. We are a listening council. Of course, I would not say we are at 100%, because in this consultation discourse, there are a lot of other issues that comes in. And we have been doing consultations where sometimes we would have, say for budget consultation, we have 7 people attending a budget consultation in a ward that is made up of, say, 20,000 households and probably over and above 100,000. So there is so much apathy from the residents, emanating from the fact that the delivery of services is not up to the expectations of residents. Yeah. It's really an issue and a challenge also from the local authorities, where the revenues, like I was saying, that it's hovering around 50%. And sometimes when you have got a lot of things to do, roads, they need resurfacing, repatching, resealing, everything. Water needs attention, waste collection needs, all those things, they need money, they need to be funded.
There's been a number of times where the council vandalized properties. And people are building in places that are not designated. The council is sleeping on the job. Then suddenly you wake up, you're going to up in arms, going to vandalize property. Okay. I would say the council is sleeping on the job, according to me. As a maybe Laureen would help me as a citizen, as a resident.
I would want to argue.
Why are you not doing your job from monitoring?
One thing that you should have to understand is the processes, the legal frameworks that are in place in terms of that issue that you are talking about. Sometimes when you would see people starting to do something, and the same when you are about to destroy, there are people who go to court and say, okay, fine, see, council is starting this, but they should have to obtain a court order for them to. And the moment that we go for the court order, it will take time for us to obtain that court order. And the process is going on.
Are you saying that the court order to stop processes of illegal construction of structures is taking too long? Because maybe residents association would want to come in there and...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think they have got their side of view in that regard, but sometimes the court order takes time for us to get the court order.
How much time are we talking here?
I can't say specifically, but the time frames for us to obtain a court order.
Maybe I can come. I can come in there. It still borders around the issue of information sharing, like I was saying. He is saying consultations are being done, and that's true. But we don't feel like we are being consulted. Right. So now, even going forward with we pay you deliver, yes. What we want to look at is what are the mechanisms that are being used in terms of sharing information. I can give you an example. When consultations are being done, maybe on financial management or budgets, what kind of terms are being used. As residents, do we understand what is being said?
Right.
If they are doing a lot of projects with the 50% that they have, are they sharing with us
You
say
something.
we have little money, but for now we are focusing on Mavuku because Mavuku has no water. So this is what we want to look at, to say, how are we sharing information? Are we understanding each other? Are we on the same wavelength?
Vandalization, there's longer period. Maybe it's something that you then want to take through. To say, even the time between vakaona an illegal structure voenda court order. And apparently that discrepancy, maybe the city of Harare needs help as well.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah. What I would want to say is they may be sleeping on their job, actually. Because if you look at most of the housing demolitions, it's like 5 years after houses have been built. Are you saying that a court order would take 5 years? Because when we go to court, actually courts favor local authorities more than they favor citizens or pressure groups like us. So I don't think it would take 5 years for them to get a court order. Why not intervene even when those stands are being allocated to say, no, this is not supposed to be done. Then they go to court first before we even go there.
Would you agree then that there is need for the cities, whether city of Harare or in, to be sued by residents for the destruction? Because if we feel like they're sleeping on the job and then they come with ups and arms wanting to destroy, would it be within the residents' rights to sue the city?
It is. That's why we have been doing that. Because the moment they now destroy those properties, actually, according to law, they are supposed to allocate somewhere where
and
those
human
residents
rights.
are.
If you're destroying, you have to
I have a right to housing. So if you are destroying, it was your mistake, not to tell me that this is the wrong path that you are taking.
Mistake, probably sleeping on the job.
Yes, you're sleeping on the job. So we have that right to sue them. And we have that right to go to court because they have the time, they have the means to actually. This is where I was also. It's coming back again to information sharing. What are you telling residents to say? We don't build on wetlands. We don't do this. We don't do this. We don't know.
All right, one thing probably I will just wrap up by saying my citizens are responsible in whatever they are doing in terms of payment, in terms of construction, in terms of building, everything. Let them engage the local authorities. City of Harare is divided into zones, it is divided into districts. Please, let us just approach those offices for information.
But in terms of your illegal dealings of destroying people's properties without respecting human rights and other things.
The issue of destruction, it's an issue of where are you situated, where are you located. We have got that rights perspective within our operations, that we look at citizens' rights and everything. But sometimes there are issues where people should not have to, and we should have to demolish those structures.
Disrespecting the principle of human rights, because even
no, it's not disrespecting.
When it is exciting, time quickly runs out.
Moving forward, one thing that we have got our budget that informs our operations. We have got our strategic plan, and the residents should have to come on board. And usually in these consultations, please, residents, let them come so that we get information on how best we can move forward, and also inform our strategic plan and our review so that we move forward.
Well, citizens, we had it. I hope this conversation was enriching to you. It was brought to us by We Pay, You Deliver. And I do strongly believe that as citizens, as residents, we've got the right to sue any city council that sleeps on the job and comes and destroy our properties. But at the same time, we also have a responsibility to be legal residents. We shouldn't engage in unlawful constructions. Make sure that you acquire your property in the rightful place. That time again, citizens, when I have to read from one viewer. Today, I'm reading from Chimbadza. He says, your platforms must be open during the proceeding of your TV program on TV and enable people to comment on the topic under discussion. My dearest, we do have a WhatsApp platform that you're watching right now on your view. Do get in touch with us. We love to hear from you, just like I've read from you. And we can also continue engaging on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and we continue the discussion. Thank you very much for staying with us. Have a lovely week ahead.